Forced by a war between France and Spain, Cesare Baronius left Naples to go to Rome around 1558 to finish his law degree. There, he met a young priest, St. Philip Neri, who changed the direction of his life. Baronius began to frequent the daily afternoon meetings that St. Philip held in his room at San Girolamo. Philip would read a spiritual book, explain it to the men, teach them how to pray, and sing with them. Sometimes St. Philip would ask one of the others to give a talk. When his turn came to give talks, Baronius always vehemently discoursed on the four last things: death, judgment, heaven, and hell. St. Philip recognized that far from helping people, Baronius was actually terrifying them. And so he commanded Baronius to discourse on the history of the church, from St. Peter to the present day. When Baronius had completed this task over a 2 to 3 year period, Philip commanded him to repeat the lessons, and this time to go into greater detail. All of Rome knew about the massive Protestant history books, the Centuries of Magdeburg, which had been produced to counter the claims of the Catholic Church. And Philip saw in Baronius a man who could set forth for the world a true chronology of events without hiding or diminishing what churchmen had done. By the mid-1560s, it seems, Philip had actually commanded Baronius to write a history of the church based on his talks. Baronius at first hesitated due to his recent ordination and a sense of his own insufficiency. He told Philip that he thought the learned Augustinian Onofrio Panvinio would be a more suitable choice. St. Philip would not budge. One day, while Baronius was delaying in obeying Philip's command, he had a dream. And in the dream, Baronius was arguing with Onofrio. They were talking about this church history project, and he was telling Onofrio that he should write it. While they were arguing, Philip appeared in the dream and said to Baronius, "Hold your peace. Scribes annales. You will write the history." When Baronius awoke, he went to St. Philip and told him about the dream. And then St. Philip, in a joking way, said to him, "Get out of here with your dreams and just do what I command you." Despite all the difficulties, Baronius eventually produced his 12-volume Ecclesiastici Annales, in which the reader can year by year follow the events of the church. In 1745, Cesare Baronius was declared venerable by Pope Benedict XIV. In 2007, his cause of canonization was reopened, and all through the world now, Baronius is called the father of church history. You and I may not be asked to become a priest. You and I may not be called to write church history, but each of us has a mission from the Lord. If we're looking for guidance on how we should live or how we should use our time, let us turn to St. Philip as a spiritual father. In this time of sickness, this time of self-isolation, this time of spiritual attack, let us consider taking St. Philip as a guide and protector. We can use the prayer that Baronius wrote to him. Look down from heaven, Holy Father, from the loftiness of that mountain to the lowliness of this valley, from that harbor of quietness and tranquility to this calamitous sea. And now that the darkness of this world hinders no more those benignant eyes of thine from looking clearly into all things, look down and visit, O most diligent keeper, this vineyard which thy right hand planted, with so much labor, anxiety, and peril. To thee then we fly, from thee we seek for aid. To thee we give our whole selves unreservedly. Thee we adopt for our patron and defender. Undertake the cause of our salvation. Protect thy clients. To thee we appeal as our leader. Rule thine army fighting against the assaults of the devil. To thee, kindest of pilots, we give up the rudder of our lives. Steer this little ship of thine in places that art on high. Keep us off all the rocks of evil desires, that with thee for our pilot and our guide, we may safely come to the port of eternal bliss. Amen.